Welcome back. During this pandemic, our lives and livelihoods have rested in the hands of elected officials as they navigate with medical experts on how to stop the spread of this virus. Joining us now is Wichita Falls Mayor Stephen Sadiata and Wichita County Judge Woody Gosson to talk about their leadership during this time. Is there anything that you would go ahead and do differently? We had talked before about masks and how for a time Wichita Falls, it was mandatory to wear masks right before the governor's order.
Yeah, there's really not a lot you can go back and look at and say you'd want to change. I think for the most part, and I can't speak for the judge, but there's just a lot of people behind us. There's 20, 30 people basically, helping us make these decisions. A lot of, health officials, doctors, community members, business members. Not a lot I would change. I would change things on our state side. I really wish we'd had a lot more consistency coming out of Austin. If anything had to change, it would probably be my communication with Austin, maybe having that a little bit better.
Judge, you feel the same way?
A lot the same. When I look back at it, I feel like we did an injustice when we allowed the large box stores to sell anything and everything. And I have learned since then that in some states, they let them sell the essentials and not the peripherals. And that might have been more fair to our mom and pop stores, our local owners, our local businessmen. If we're going to look at that, I'd reevaluate how that is. But one of the things, and the mayor said something about this also, we cannot complain about the results health-wise. We got excellent advice out of our local city county health officials, and that plan worked. The mayor and I neither one are running our community. Right. That is being run out of Austin, unfortunately. And one size does not fit all. And it really was discouraging for the governor to come down on the wearing of masks like he did, and yet in his 64-page document, 30 pages suggested you wear a mask, excuse me. But those, despite people's irritation and attitude about them, they would have allowed us to do what the mayor and I agreed on with the other mayors in the county, to go ahead and let business return a week sooner than it did.
And going forward, this virus is going to have such a long-term effect on businesses, also budgets, the city budget, county budget. How, starting with you, Mayor, is the council preparing for what's ahead?
We're already starting to prepare. Darren Leiker and the staff are taking a deep dive into our budget. I think he made the quote at one point saying, we don't know what COVID's going to do or where it's going to be in the future, but we can tell you right now that our budget is going to be hitting some catastrophic levels. But we will get through it. We know we'll get through it. We just, tighten our belts. Our goal is not to, raise taxes. Our goal is to tighten our belts and find as many cuts as we can possible. There are going to be some things that we are going to do that probably haven't been done in the past. But I really think that council needs to prepare itself for a very, very hard budget session.
The county is in one way in a little better position. Our revenue is not made up of sales tax income, which is so hard to predict right now. In looking at the budget proposals we started getting in February, there were some good proposals. Those that came in, they were asking for salary increases, additional people and equipment, and that was fine at that time to look at it. It was over 3 cents in requests, which we can't do by law now. We're limited to a 3.5% increase in the essential tax rate. So it limits greatly what local government can do without some special conditions or going to a vote. In looking at that, we have noticed that our fine and fee collection is way off. That makes up around 15 to 20% of our budget. Grants, other sources of revenue, interest income for the money we've had in the bank when it was drawing 2 to 3%, is drawing less than 1% under the new investments that people have, we've had to go to. The tax assessor's office says they generally collect 83 to 86% of our budget, and under normal times they would. We've already heard a lot of people complain that got their property value statements at how bad they felt that value was and they couldn't afford the taxes. Now, if property values go up, tax rates do automatically go down to produce the same amount of money as it did before. I don't have a lot of faith that that kind of money from last year under normal conditions is going to come in under pandemic and the aftermath of pandemic conditions.
Okay. Judge Gossen, Mayor Santiago, thank both of you so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Yeah, we appreciate the opportunity.